In today's video, I'm going to share with you the very first thing you have to master in order to be a good hypnotist, and that is what we call demystifying hypnosis. You see, what happens is, because of Hollywood and the media and even hypnosis shows, people don't truly understand what hypnosis is. And so they have all these misconceptions, right? Even for myself, I remember when I went to my very first hypnosis show ever here in Las Vegas, I watched the show and I was thinking to myself, like, this guy has some special power, or it's black magic, or there's some type of mind control going on. It was funny too, because even before I went to my actual first hypnosis show, I'd watch videos online and I'd see people get hypnotized, and I'm thinking, like, you know, that won't work on me. That only works on gullible, weak-minded people. But then when I actually learned and got certified in hypnosis and then started teaching other people hypnosis and certifying other people, there's a lot that you learn. So the very first thing you learn how to do is again called demystifying hypnosis. And what you're essentially doing is you are dispelling the myths about hypnosis, because if you go right into a hypnosis session without explaining to somebody what they're going to experience, they're going to tell you, I wasn't hypnotized, right? They're going to say, oh, I didn't feel anything. Excuse me, my coffee's spilling. And that's only because, again, you did not properly demystify hypnosis. So let me share with you what to do to demystify hypnosis, and then you can start applying this in your own life. So when you're meeting with the client, you say, hey, a lot of people have misconceptions about what hypnosis is. They think it's black magic, or it's mind control, or it means you're gullible, you're weak-minded, but it's actually not true. So a couple things. Hypnosis is simply a state of trance. And so if you've ever gone into a trance before, you can be hypnotized. So the example I always give to people, I say, hey, have you ever been driving on the freeway and you're in such deep thought and focus that suddenly you arrive at your destination and like a 20-minute drive felt like 5 minutes? Type yes in the comments if you've ever had that happen to you before. So what just happened there? You lost track of time. 20 minutes felt like 5 minutes. You don't even remember driving. Is almost like your body took over on autopilot. Well, what actually happened there is you went into a trance. And again, as I mentioned, hypnosis is simply just a state of trance. So if you've ever experienced that before, you can easily be hypnotized. Now, a couple other things that I like to explain to people about hypnosis is, you know, if you've ever been in a daydream state before, where you're just like looking, you're just stuck, you're just like, that is also, you're in a trance, you're daydreaming, and you're hypnotized. If you've ever found yourself like right before you go to sleep, you're in that, you're sleeping, but you're not sure, you're kind of like, am I awake or am I asleep? That's what hypnosis is. And so everybody can be hypnotized. What's funny is when I first learned about hypnosis, they told me that people who are autistic and people who had cerebral palsy couldn't be hypnotized. And I actually hypnotized somebody that had cerebral palsy and another person who had autism. Now, this wasn't super severe, so I'm sure if it's really severe, then maybe. But yes, like 99.999% of people can be hypnotized. So when you're explaining this to people, you have to explain to them and dispel the myths, and then you explain to them what they're going to experience. So when you're in hypnosis, it's not a psychedelic experience. You're not sleeping. You're actually awake and aware the entire time. So if people expect to feel something that they've never felt before, it's just simply not true. Again, we all go in and out of hypnosis all the time. Same thing when you're listening to music. You know, you go into a trance and you're just enthralled by the music and you're in that zone. That's all hypnosis, guys. The difference is that when you're putting somebody under hypnosis, you're doing it with an intention, meaning you're not accidentally trancing out or purposely doing it. And the intention is to help you change something about your life, right? Whether it's your business, your health, your relationships, these different areas. And when you can harness this state of mind, it is a very, very powerful tool, because what you're able to do is dive in and start to remove some of the layers of some of the things that may be holding us back, and also really install the beliefs at a deep, deep subconscious level so that they naturally and automatically become true in your life. So understanding how to demystify hypnosis is one of the most important things you'll understand as a hypnotherapist. Now, the other thing is, When people say, oh, it means you're weak-minded and you're gullible, that's actually not true. You know what I found? You know, I've worked with UFC fighters, NFL athletes, Navy SEALs, really, people who have tens of millions of dollars, right? And what I've discovered is that the smartest, most successful people in the world are the easiest to hypnotize. You want to know why? Type yes if you want to know why. Hit the like button if you want to know why as well. Because when you give a smart, strong-willed, determined person a task, they follow through with a task. They can follow instructions. The other thing is, if you give a Navy SEAL, hey, this is the mission, they're going to complete the mission. So if you say, hey, this is the desired outcome that we want to get to, aka being in hypnosis, being in a trance, again, the 0.01% of people are the easiest to get there. The hardest people to hypnotize are the ones that can't follow instructions. It's the ones that most people would say, yeah, this person's not very bright. They can't relax. Oh, my mind is racing. They have anxiety and all these different things, where the people who don't deal with those issues are like, yes, I'll follow instructions. That makes sense. Okay, let's do it. Those are the easiest people to be hypnotized. Now, as far as hypnosis being mind control, you know, it's funny because I see other people say, oh, you can hypnotize anybody to do anything. That's not true. If that were the case, then they could just go up to any person and get them to do whatever they want. And number one, people have to want to be hypnotized if you're going to hypnotize them by another person. Now, you could still hypnotize people through hypnotic language patterns and covert hypnosis, but you're not going to get anybody to do anything that they wouldn't do otherwise. There's a lot more that goes into that, which is beyond hypnosis. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show with Darren Brown where he gets people to like murder somebody within an hour or two. Well, he's using some hypnosis, but he's also using a lot more other stuff, right? Peer pressure and all kinds of different things, which goes beyond just hypnosis. So when it comes to mind control, there's a couple other factors that come into place. Number one is removing, and this is what the military uses to brainwash, their soldiers, right? You remove somebody from their environment, okay? From where they're normally used to. You give them pain or consequences if they mess up or they disagree, and you reward them when they do the right thing. Also, sleep deprivation, food deprivation, and what ends up happening is when we're sleep deprived, we're food deprived, we're getting disciplined or pain when we don't respond in the right way, or even torture. What eventually ends up happening is our mind just opens up. It's like, hey, you're in such a suggestible state, you're tired, you're hungry. It's like your mind just stops resisting and stops fighting back. And in this moment, you can begin to implant suggestions of whatever it may be. So again, this is what the military does, right? They remove people from their environment. There's food deprivation, water deprivation, sleep deprivation, pain if you disagree, all these things. And they can take somebody who wouldn't hurt a fly and be a trained killer within a matter of a couple of months. So that requires a lot more programming. You're not just going to do that by simply saying, okay, come here, sleep. Okay, go rob the bank. Like that's ridiculous. So if anybody's saying that out there, they're completely wrong. Now, what you could do is if somebody already had the propensity to do that, meaning rob a bank or whatever it may be, you can definitely make it easier for them to do that. So do me a favor, guys, ask your questions in the comments. What other stuff you'd like to learn about hypnosis? I'll make some more videos. And then also, number one, if you're a business owner, you're like, Dom, I need to have some success in my business. I'm stuck at a certain level. I'm ready to break through. There's going to be a link down in the description for you to book a free consultation with my team to do a deep dive to see what's holding you back subconsciously. And then also, if you want to go further into a hypnosis training, really learn the ins and outs about it, I have a free hypnosis training down in the description below. So go ahead and get access to it, listen to it, and it'll go even deeper into what I'm talking about, plus some other stuff as well. So subscribe to the channel, guys, like the video, leave your comments of what you'd like to learn, and get access to the free trainings. We'll see you in the next one.